Ken from Cleveland. I just did a video about the cowardice of so many Republican politicians. I gotta be honest, I think I may have given them too much credit. Most cowards believe in something, they just don't have the guts to stand up for it. But last week, Republicans in the Senate blocked critical funding for veterans suffering from toxic exposure overseas. These same Republicans, just a month earlier, voted for this bill. The only reason they flipped was because they're angry that Democrats have been on a roll passing legislation and the Republicans wanted to stop them. This wasn't about principles. It was about politics, the worst kind of zero-sum politics that makes my blood boil. And who's paying the price? Veterans. So many of my buddies who served overseas are suffering from the devastating effects of toxic exposure to burn pits and other hazards. Let me tell you just a bit about burn pits. I was lucky as a pilot and never had to sleep next to one. But my friends who did talk about them as the closest thing to hell on earth they've ever seen. It's how our military got rid of stuff in war zones. They just piled it up and burned it. Tires, excrement, body parts, doused in diesel fuel and set on fire. The fumes hung like clouds of poison over the entire camp. Now we've got vets by the thousands with unexplained lung diseases and rare tumors. These are people who should be in prime health. I got a call from one just this morning who talked about how the space between his lungs and chest wall filled up with this gelatinous fluid that was suffocating him. They couldn't drain it and had to crack open his chest to scrape it out. There are so many we've lost already. Some of them from the diseases these pits have caused. Others because they just can't take it anymore. We'll never know for sure how many vets have taken their lives out of desperation, waiting for our government to act. So here we are. We had a bill, billions in funding for vets who desperately need it. We had bipartisan support, and then these Republican senators, seeing a political opportunity, killed it. Ted Cruz fist bumped one of his colleagues afterwards. I don't know what to say. Cowardice doesn't begin to describe what we saw on the Senate floor. To every vet living with the aftermath of toxic exposure, I will say, I am sorry your country has let you down again. I think about what it was like staring into those burning, stinking pits, and I imagine that if you look closely enough, you might have seen Senator Cruz and his Republican colleagues looking back at you. That's it. We'll keep fighting until this is done.